All right, so welcome back to another episode here with the Fly Island Guy. Um, just wanted to start off by saying Happy New Year to everyone. I hope these first few days have been awesome so far, and I'm hoping that the rest of the year will end up being better than 2020 was. That's if you had a bad year. Um, but I guess I'll talk about my how my year has been when I get up in the year. But for now, let's just talk a little bit about what's going on. First and foremost, um, I have upgraded the mic. So I don't know if anybody has watched my last video about my gaming setup, but I said that I wanted to switch my microphone that I was using. So I've switched to the Blue Yeti, which is what I'm talking on now. I have a nice little setup here where the mic is on a boom, so I kind of have a little more space here in front of me, so I can kind of have my keyboard and my joystick and everything just like in a good location. And the next change is that I am switching things up a little bit. So I mentioned before that um, I wanted to move a little bit away from these Caribbean videos and do something different. So that's exactly what I'm doing. So today we are in the on-air world. So I joined the I bought the OnAir Company Manager's software. Uh, I wouldn't say it's an add-on, but more we're working with FS 2020 just to get a little more realism and a little more add a little more depth to my flight simming experience. So I literally just started a company. The company is called FlyIslandGuy, FlyIslandGuy, and the company initials are FIGB. And my pilot, his name is Felix Ignatius. I forget his last name. Let's go back and take a look. Ah, there we go. Felix Ignatius Gilligan. Yes, I came up with that name. And if you realize why I came up with that name, go ahead and throw it down in the comments. So today, what we've been doing, this is my company stats right now. So far, not really looking too good for a couple reasons, but just trying to work through things. Let's go ahead and let's look at our jobs that we have. So the current job that I want to start working on right now is an actual mission, and this consists of 5 jobs. We're going to do some island hopping over here in the Bahamas. I wanted to base my company actually in Canada, here in Nova Scotia, but I realized that I'm going to be spending a lot of time flying. Sorry, let me just turn this off. I realized that I was going to be spending a lot of time flying GA aircraft, and flying GA aircraft in winter weather, I learned the hard way, just does not work well. So I moved things down here in the Bahamas, and I'm just going to be down here for a little while. I will eventually try and get back up to Canada at some point and move my base of operations there, probably when I have better aircraft. But right now, we're just going to stay down here in the Caribbean, and we'll try and expand out to the States and other parts of the Caribbean as well. So this current job that I have set up here is for, as I said, it's a mission that's a series of like 5 jobs. Right now we're in Nassau, and we're going to be heading over to I believe it's Rock Sound. Yep, Rock Sound in Eleuthera. And after Rock Sound, we'll be heading over to Florida to drop some drop some cargo off there. But the first one is just some passengers. We're gonna drop some passengers over in Rock Sound. So I'm just gonna do the first 2 legs of this trip, of this mission. Sorry, and then like future videos will focus on the rest of the legs and so on. So right now, as I said, we are in Nassau. It is a very rainy day, and the approach, I'm renting all of my aircraft right now, and so I had to move this plane from Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera, over here. And so it touched down, and now we're just kind of waiting to get the passengers. And the approach in was a little rough. It started off beautiful, and then it just went downhill. So the clouds rolling in. But we're here now, and for me, taking off is a lot easier than coming in. So let's go ahead and let's get set up for the next leg of this mission. Well, the first leg. So we'll hop into the cockpit. So to have things loaded up a little bit here. One thing that I need to do, I actually need to clear out this entire flight plan. And this is my apologies. I wanted to actually do this before I started the video. Just totally forgot to. But we'll go ahead and we're just going to enter in the flight plan. The flight plan for this first leg is really, really short. We're just going to go oops, wrong way, Y, MY, N, move over, was that just a raindrop inside the plane? Okay, that was weird. Okay. And things just froze. Great. Alright, and we're back. Sorry about that. I think I might have, from some of the clicking around I was doing in OnAir, it might have messed up something when it came back. But we're good to go now. So I got the flight plan in, and let's also set our altimeter. Yeah, we're gonna go up to 8,000 today, as I said before. And 8,000, flight director's on. I'll set our heading when we get on the runway, and yeah, that should be just about it. So let me try this one more time. Beacon and strobes on. Oh, let me turn our alternators on as well. If you don't do that, the screen's gonna shut off, or everything's gonna shut off. So let's go beacon strobes so we don't get penalized for that. Let's get our fuel shutoffs on. Move up the mixture control a little bit. Now we can crank the engines. Shouldn't be an issue now.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Requesting pushback.
Alright.
Beechcraft Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra pushback request accepted. Ground Beechcraft Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra requesting the end of pushback.
Alright.
Beechcraft Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra request to end pushback received.
Okay, so I'm going to switch off the radio comms. I just did that because in previous flights that I was doing, I just wanted to be able to focus more on the flying, and I was also flying to a bunch of like weird airports. In fact, some of the airports that I was flying to for OnAir were like literally grass fields in the middle of nowhere. and I had no idea how to get to them. So I was really just trying to concentrate on finding out where the field was and getting there. All right, so we have our engine started now. I'm just gonna double check my sound settings because it sounds kind of super quiet, and I don't know why. Well, yeah, everything is good here. Well, maybe it's just me, but all right. Cool. We don't need the pitot heat, but I just want to get rid of that warning, so we'll switch it on. And we'll open the cowl flaps as well. Takeoff. Taxi lights are on, and release the parking brakes, and let's get out of here. Actually, before I do that, I just want to bring up okay, I just want to see where we are. We're taking off on runway 32. I just want to see where we are on the airport. So I have it here in Navigraph, so just want to double check that. Alright, so cool. Bang bang. Alright, let's get out of here. Just gonna drop down a notch of flap as well. Yeah, so as I was saying, it's a pretty rainy day here in Nassau, and so I was looking at some of these liveries. Oh, that Frontier livery is backwards, which is weird. Yeah, I don't really like it. Sometimes it seems as though they just kind of stick any AI livery at any airport. So I highly doubt Frontier Airlines flies here to Nassau. I think I saw a Portugal Airways plane in Jamaica, which is weird as well, because they wouldn't be flying an A320 there either. So yeah, not really too sure what's going on with that, but I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, so right now we're taking the kind of long cruise down to runway 32. In fact, I'm not even going to worry about that. I'm just going to take the next taxiway, and then I'm going to take the next entrance onto the runway, and I'm just going to take off, because I don't think we don't need 10,000 feet to take off. So we're just going to come here. Cool. Just gonna brake real quick, and gonna go ahead and turn on our landing lights, taxi lights off, and yeah, I'll get the heading lined up as well. Actually, I'll get that from Navigraph. 323 is the heading for this runway. As you can see, we have tons of runway left to take off. So, boom, just gonna stop here real quick. And I'm gonna set the CDI source to GPS. And just going to sync our heading bug. And then turn it on there. There we go. This plane takes a little while to get moving. Alright. Gonna rotate at around 90 knots.
Airborne time log.
Off.
Beechcraft X-ray Golf Sierra, you are not cleared to take off.
Gear up. And I'm gonna try and trim up a little bit. There we go. Alright. So trim up. I'm gonna turn on the autopilot, engage nav mode, and we'll do flight change mode as well. Yeah, with flight change mode, we'll climb up to 8,000 feet. I definitely love flying out here. I like the visuals. Like, look how beautiful that is, man. Like, we've taken off. I like the. All right, we got the reef action going on now. That looks like a change. I don't remember seeing this. Okay. Gonna pull the flaps up. All right. I forgot to set my altimeter, so I will do that. When we reach our cruise altitude, though, I'm gonna close the cowl flaps. I'm not actually too sure when you're supposed to do them, but I just know they have to be open for takeoff and landing. Okay, so I'm just going to check the METAR real quick for MYNN. We're looking at three zero zero zero. Alright, there we go. So it looks like the weather has cleared up. When I landed here before, it was definitely not this clear. There was a lot of cloud, a lot of rain. So I'm still hoping that the rain hasn't moved over to Rock Sound. Mainly because it's just not that developed over there. So we're not landing at some big fancy or some fancy airport at that. Good. I still, if anybody knows when the cowl flaps are supposed to be closed, please let me know. I'm just gonna close them now. Honestly, don't think it makes a huge difference. This is a default aircraft. There's some things that haven't been implemented, so I was just kind of reading up on it, and things such as like using your prop control to determine like the correct power setting and the correct RPM to achieve like maximum climb, that sort of thing, that hasn't really been implemented here. Beautiful, man. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Alright. So this flight, according to SimBrief, in terms of time in the air, it's about 31 minutes. And roughly 59 minutes, I'm assuming. That's a block time, although I'm not really 100% sure what block time means. Let me look that up. Okay. So block time is total amount of time a flight takes from pushing back from the departure gate to arriving at the destination gate. Okay. So I guess it's like when pilots say, you know, it's gonna be a flight time of 31 minutes and 59 minutes from gate to gate. I guess what your block time is. But yeah. Alright, so far so good. It's been a smooth climb out. Like I said, I don't anticipate too much happening with this flight. Nothing crazy. But let me speak in general in regards to kind of my experiences so far with OnAir. It's been a bit on the confusing side, but there's kind of a good amount of like documentation, etc., on how it all works. But yeah, it's been a little confusing for me, and I've also kind of run into a lot of issues with moving my pilot around. I thought that I could kind of have multiple pilots and, you know, have one pilot in one place, another pilot in the other place, and be able to fly a mission using any pilot from where I was. For some reason that didn't work out, so I don't know what I was doing wrong, but so that's involved me doing a lot of like renting of aircraft, a lot of moving or transporting your pilot around, which takes time. So in other versions of, or in other worlds on OnAir as they call it, you are able to actually go ahead and like immediately transport your pilot. However, I mean, depending on where you are, that could be a pretty lengthy transport. So let's say, for instance, to move my pilot from Nassau to Eleuthera, so I can go and get this plane and bring it back, was actually, it took about an hour. So I couldn't fly my plane for an hour. It was just kind of sitting there. So then that costs in terms of rental time and all that sort of thing. So it's a lot there for you to learn. I just decided to go straight to Thunder because that's what I've seen other people using, but it's interesting so far. One thing that I've really enjoyed is that I've had a chance to go or fly into the US. So I've been doing a lot of missions that put me in Florida. I've been kind of flying around in Florida as well. And that's really been exciting because the scenery in the US is top notch compared to where I've been flying in the Caribbean. Like, it's been just absolutely beautiful to see, and we'll see it when as we fly back. We do the second leg of this mission that takes us into Miami. You're gonna see that the graphics are absolutely top, so I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna see if there's a chart in here for Rock Sound Eleuthera. Sorry, yeah, Rock Sound Eleuthera. Oh, there is. Nice. Okay. Let's see. So, Rock Sound is literally just a single runway. I don't know what these mean. I hope that doesn't mean that there's like trees in front of the airport. Probably does. But yeah. Potential danger of wild horses on the runway. Crazy. Okay. So that's pretty much Rock Sound. And what do we have for approaches? It's basically 2 RNAV approaches, and Simbrief has assigned us Simbrief has assigned us runway 9. Okay. So we'll be doing the RNAV runway 9 approach today. And I'm going to go ahead and plug this into our flight plan right now. Let's adjust the map. Yeah, pretty much going to hit our central waypoint. That's going to like start us on the path into Eleuthera. So let's see. We'll most likely be I don't even know exactly which one of these we should take. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference, but if we go into procedure and we'll select our approach. Oops. Alright. Okay. So this has happened, alright. So what's happening right now is that Flight Simulator doesn't actually have any approaches set up for Rock Sound. We can get around this by simply adding in the waypoints. So I'm not too sure which one we're going to come from, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and we'll go to MYER. And let's just add in, and we'll add in a set of waypoints to follow, and then we'll have to do like just a manual approach in. So we'll go, let's do the higher up one. Carson. I actually kind of hate the way you have to enter in these waypoints. So, and then with Carson, let's move down one. Okay, so sorry, just to show you what I'm following. This is the approach for runway 9. or the approach plate for runway 9. So I just entered in this waypoint, so I'm going to put in Carson, Tipney, and then Kongi, I don't know how to pronounce that, and we'll go from there. So next one is and I should have done this before we took off, to be honest. And then we'll go from Tipney to Kongi. Alright, so we should have everything in place now. Ah, shoot. I messed up. Let's see. So we have the waypoints wrong way around. I don't really know how to move them up and down, so I'm just going to clear it. And then, oops. Alright, so enter here. Oh, it's right there. Okay. Alright, now it's in the correct order, and let's see how it looks over here now. Alright, that's better. Okay, so we are 17 miles out from Carson, so let's start getting our descent sorted out. So I think we descended around 100, let's say 110 knots from what I've seen this aircraft at full idle, and we're going from 8,000 feet down to, I think the approach is quoting for 2,300 at Carson. Okay, and let's say we're going to do that in 13 nautical miles. That gives us a descent profile of 900. We'll do 1,000 feet per minute just to give ourselves a little bit of leeway. All right. So I'm just gonna plug that into our altimeter to 2,300. We're actually coming up in it now, almost 13 nautical miles, and we're going to do vertical speed. I'm going to hits 13, we'll go ahead and start descending. Pull back on the throttles. Alright, we're gonna little. Here we go. So just stabilize. Alright, 1050 is fine. And we should start slowing down to around 100 knots or so. What I'll also do is I'm going to see if I can get the METAR for this airport. I know I can get it for Eleuthera. Oh, for, sorry, Governor's Harbor, so I don't think it's going to work either. If not, we'll just keep it at the current altimeter setting. Yeah, it doesn't exist. Okay. And yeah, that's pretty much rocks. I think Rock Sound somewhere around here. So as you can see in the flight path, we'll kind of be doing like a S-turn sort of. But I'm kind of glad like it's really cleared up out here a lot. So alright. The funny thing is, in OnAir, it says there was supposed to be transporting a passenger, but there's actually no passenger here to be transported, so I'm not really too sure how that's supposed to work, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's good. It really cleared right up. Cleared right up outside here today. Like, yeah, when I was here before, I kind of went straight into some clouds. So that wasn't fun. So because there's no actual like RNAV approach procedure in the Garmin right now, I'm basically gonna have to like hand fly this approach in. But I'm gonna make sure I adhere to the altitudes and everything, because that should regardless put us in a good position to see the runway and land safely. So about 5 nautical miles outside of Carson now. Let me go ahead and put this back. Don't need it right now. But yeah, I'm liking this little plane. I don't know. I think I have a soft spot for twin engine planes right now. I was flying the King Air heavily before, and now I'm really liking this guy as well. Okay, so coming up on 2300, we might be able to see the airport in the distance. Might not. Still a little far out, still kind of blurry right now. Okay. Let's see, 2300 to Carson, and then okay, so basically should be at 23 at tip me. 2300 feet at tip me. Sorry. So I'm glad, like, having Navigraph and really getting these approach plates has been a blessing, man. Like, it's made flying these approaches so much more interesting, and it's kind of given me lots of practice in kind of reading and understanding how approach plates work. I really have only a basic understanding of it right now, but it's still helped me out a lot though. Alright, we should be making our right turn to tip me now. Okay. And interesting that the water's a weird, like, turquoise color. I don't know if that's, like, realistic from kind of this far out, but whatever. So it's 5 nautical miles to Tipney, and from there we'll be descending down to 1700. So I'm just going to dial in 1700. So it should be like 90 degrees to the airport right now. So must be maybe around there. Don't know. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead, drop flaps and gear down, and kind of just get set up for a stabilized approach in, since I gotta basically fly it by hand for the most part. But once we make this turn and descend down to Kangay, the airport should be like right in front of us. This is it right here. Nah, that can't be it. Man, I have no clue. Alright. So we're going to descend to 1700 now. Okay. Airport is straight ahead, it looks like it. Even though I still can't really see it because it looks so blurry. I'm not too sure why. Yeah, okay, runway is definitely ahead. Once we reach Kangay, I'm just gonna go ahead and just like start a slow descent into runway 9, and pretty much once we land, we're just gonna land and just head straight down to the very end, and that should be where the parking is. Textures look horrible. I don't know why it's so blurry. It'll probably clear up a little bit like kind of when we get there, but bad right now. Really can't wait for that RTX 3080, man. So I can kind of bump up the graphic quality a little bit. Alright, so we've passed our final approach fix, so I'm going to turn off the autopilot. I'm just going to fly this in by hand. Just pitch the nose down a little bit. Flaps. That looks like we're pretty high right now. Down, flaps to full. I did not open my car flaps, but I'm not going to do that now either. Alright, things are looking a little better now. Sheesh, crap before. Happies, I'm still pretty high.
Wind 220 at 4 knots. Pretty long runways, so I'm not too worried about managing long. Right. Landing time logged.
We bounced a lot. Okay. So that was not the best landing, but it's all good. Just gonna pull the flaps up and let's just kind of get into the terminal here. I don't think I went to this airport so when I was in Eleuthera, so not sure how accurate this is. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is not accurate. What? What? Okay, this is weird. Alright, whatever. I don't know why there's big buildings here, but cool. Alright, so we're here. Going to
set our parking brakes. Gonna switch all the lights off. And now I'm gonna cut the engines.
Engine off, time logged. Flight is finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
All right. So that was a decent trip right up to the landing. Landing was bad, but whatever. All right, so we got here. Passengers have deplaned, so that's one leg of this mission down. So on our next leg, we'll be flying to Miami. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a quick break while I get everything all set up for the next flight. And when we come back, we'll be taking off and we'll be heading over to Florida. Okay, so bear with me, and I'll be back in a second.
So I never did come back because what happened after that was just a series of cluster Fs. I ended up getting stuck inside that building at Rock Sound Airport because it's not supposed to be there. I had to like restart the sim and ended up inside that building because the building is actually sitting on top of the parking apron. Like, it's not supposed to be there at all, so I don't know what happened. But anyway, it is what it is. This footage you're seeing right now is of the CJ4 working title mod. I've been playing around with this aircraft and I really love it, so at some point in the near future we're going to see this in action. But for the meantime, I'll be starting up the next flight from Miami. We're going to be heading over to Abaco to drop off some cargo, and I'll have footage of that. So in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Rate, like, comment, subscribe, and I will be back next time. Peace.